Bijeljina is a city and municipality in northeastern Republic of Srpska at Bosnia and Herzegovina. The city is the second largest in the Republika Srpska entity after Banja Luka and the fifth largest city in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and is situated on the plains of Semberija.Bijeljina is the unofficial center of the eastern part of Republika Srpska with 114,663 inhabitants. Bijeljina is located at 6 kilometers from the border with Serbia and 40 kilometers from the border with Croatia. Name: the official languages of Bosnia and Herzegovina are Bosniak, Croatian and Serbian. The Bosniak and Serbian languages use both the Cyrillic and Latin alphabet, while Croatian only uses Latin. The town's name in Cyrillic is history. Prehistory and antiquity. The earliest confirmed traces of human life in the area of today's Bijeljina date from the New Stone Age. Most of the traces from prehistoric periods were found in the villages Ostojićevo, Batković, Glavići, Vorovi, Kojčinovac, Patkavaca and Trijesnica. Characteristics of pottery, tools and weapons emphatically confirm cultural connections of indigenous inhabitants of Semberija with the Neolithic and Bronze Age cultures. Vucedil, Kostarlak and Baden culture. Old Slavs and Middle Ages. The oldest archaeological site of this period is located on both sides of Channel District, between the villages Batković and Ostojićevo, and it consists of 4 smaller sites which date from the period of the 7th to the 12th century. At Jazbina and Orosic remains were found of a settlement with half-buried huts, but the most significant discovery was a complex of metallurgical workshop at the site Selopek, where iron was melted in the 8th century and where iron tools were manufactured. At this time the village Bistrica was called Bistrica, and it was the center of the parish, which covered the entire territory of present-day city of Bijeljina. Although the name Bijeljina was first mentioned in 1446, this name was in use only after 1918. During Austro-Hungarian period, the town had the name Bijeljina and, before that, Bijeljina.Bijeljina. Modern history. In 1838, the first confessional elementary school was opened. A modern school building was built in 1902. In this school worked Jovan Đusić between 1893 to 95. Đusić was a famous Herzegovinian Serb poet, writer and diplomat. Today a street in central Bijeljina is named after him. In front of City Hall is a statue of King Peter I of Serbia, who ruled the Kingdom of Serbia between 1903 and 1918. During the Second World War, the Ustasa removed it. After World War II, the communist government refused to return the monument. The first non-communist local government returned the monument in the early 1990s. Bosnian War. In September 1991, Bosnian Serbs proclaimed a Serbian autonomous oblast with Bijeljina as its capital. In March 1992, the Bosnian referendum on independence was passed with overwhelming support from Bosniaks and Bosnian Croats. A poorly organized, local Bosniak Patriotic League had been established in response to the Bosnian Serb proclamation, and on the 31st of March it was provoked into an armed conflict by local Serbs and the SDG. On 1–2 April, the SDG and the JNA overtook Bijeljina with little resistance. Murders, rapes, house searches, and pillaging followed. These actions have been described as genocidal by the historian Professor Eric D. Weitz of the City College of New York. A massacre was carried out and involved the killing of between 48 and 78 civilians by Serb paramilitary groups. The majority of those killed were Bosniaks. The dead included members of other ethnicities, such as Serbs deemed unloyal by the local authorities. The killing was committed by a local paramilitary group known as Mirko's Chetniks and by the Serb Volunteer Guard, a Serbia-based paramilitary group under the command of the Yugoslav People's Army that was controlled by Serbian President Slobodan Milosevic. The village of Batković in the municipality of Bijeljina was the site of the Batković concentration camp, believed to be the first concentration camp in operation during the Bosnian War. It was run by Serbs from the 1st of April 1992 until late January 1996. The prisoners were predominantly ethnic Bosniaks, who were tortured, sexually assaulted, and killed by Serbs. A State Commission for the Free Transfer of the Civilian Population, or Commission for the Exchange of Population, was created and headed by Vokan Thurković, a major in the SDG, and included Moses Panthers. Its purpose was to completely expel all non-Serbs from Bijeljina. Post-war period. New birth of Bijeljina is experienced in the late 1990s and the first decade of the 21st century, after a population boom due to war events and population saturation and insufficient capacity of the city that was built in less need. Today you can see rebuilding of Bijeljina in the big city with new settlements, roads, schools, universities, and cultural institutions. Architecture. The Attic Mosque, built between 1520 and 1566 during the period of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. The mosque was completely destroyed on the 13th of March 1993 and rebuilt where it stood before. Serbian Orthodox Church St. George, which was built in 1872. The second oldest building is the Semberija Museum, which was built in 1876. It is noted that the oldest building in Bijeljina was Attic Mosque in the city center, built in 1530 and demolished to the ground during the Bosnian War 1992–1995. Basil of Ostrog Monastery in the center of Bijeljina is a newly built-in monastery dedicated to St. Basil of Ostrog. The bell tower with a clock of over 30 meters dominates the surroundings and a symbol of the monastery. As part of the monastery is a museum, dining room, library, hermitages for monks. Inside the temple is painted magnificent frescoes. It is particularly valuable copy Trojerušika miraculous icons. The gift from Hilanda Monastery in Bijeljina is also located the Holy Temple, the Church of St. Petka, and the Old Catholic Church. The Filip Visnić Library is the oldest cultural institution in Bijeljina, founded in 1932, yet, thanks to prominent people and intellectuals, played a major role in raising the cultural level of the construction and opening of reading rooms in rural villages of Semberija, now located in a modern building and has over 100,000 books. The Tavna Monastery is located in the southern part of the Bijeljina municipality. The date of foundation is hidden somewhere in the shadows of the far past. The Chronicles of monasteries Tranoša and Pešćac was built by Dragutin's sons Vladislav I Urasenc. Stefan Dragutin was the king of Serbia from 1276 to 1282 and king of Srem from 1282 to 1316. The present church of Monastery Tavna is built in the same place as the original one. The Tavna Monastery is older than the other monasteries in the region such as Osrana, Liplja, Varzus and Gostovica. Tavna was damaged in the first years of Turkish rule, but was restored by the people. This was not the only time the monastery was damaged. It was damaged many times during the Turkish period and also during World War II. Between 1941 and 1945, Tavna was bombed by the Ustaes. One of the gravestones says Zdravko Jovanovic killed 1943 by the Ustasa Blue Division protecting and defending the monastery. After World War II, Tavna was rebuilt. Education. The first primary school in Bijeljina was opened in 1838. After the Second World War, changes were made to the school system, and in 1951 the first elementary school was opened. In 1956, a second elementary school was opened. The third and fourth elementary schools opened in 1959, and subsequently 1966. Since 1953, a basic music school has been operating in the city. Primary schools in Bijeljina include the following: Os Vetisava, Os Knezevo od Semberija, Os Vuk Karadzic, Os Jovanjusic. There are several high schools operating in the city, such as Filip Visnic Gymnasium, Stevan Stojanovic Mokranjak Music School, an agricultural high school, a medicine high school, an economic and a technical school. The University of Bijeljina has several faculties: law, economics, business economics and education. The main private universities in the city are Slobomir University and University Sinisia. Transportation. The basic street network is dependent on the main routes, the M14.1 Biritsko-Zavornik and the M18 Raka-Uglajevic. The complete road network in contact with the city and the urban traffic network is extremely radial orientation. She had 11 major transportation routes, which link directly to the city. Around the city is located bypass but isn't fully completed. The main bus station in Bijeljina is located in the central zone of the city. The main bus station in Bijeljina is owned by Semberija Transport. From Bijeljina, passengers can travel to other cities in the region as well as some cities in Europe such as Ljubljana, Vienna, Berlin, Munich, Zurich, Stockholm. There is only one railway line in Bijeljina. That railway line stretches from Bijeljina to Sid in Serbia. From Sid it joins another line going east towards Belgrade or going west to Croatia. Public transport. The main public transport system in Bijeljina is made up of bus routes that provide transportation from surrounding villages to the city center. Public passenger transport performed in Bijeljina 50 buses. There are 12 lines of public transport in the city. Price of one-way ticket is 1.5 convertible mark equals 75 euro cents. Bus routes distances: Sarajevo 210 kilometers, Belgrade 139 kilometers, Banja Luka 273 kilometers, Vienna 645 kilometers, Budapest 407 kilometers, Zagreb 322 kilometers. Geography. Semberija is a flat region which is bound by the rivers Sava, Drina and the Majevica Mountains. The entire Semberija area is typically an agricultural region which has fertile land and suitable weather conditions. Semberija has the most developed agricultural area in Republika Srpska. The focus of the production is on wheat and corn, vegetables, cabbage, paprika, tomato and watermelon. Also, cattle breeding and growing fruits. Settlements. Places in the Bijeljina municipality: Amajlija, Balatun, Banjica, Batar, Batkovic, Bijeljina, Bjelovac, Brijesnica, Brodik Donji, Brodik Gornji, Bukovica Donja, Bukovica Gornja, Kranjelovo Donja, Kranjelovo Gornja, Kadavika Donja, Kadavika Gornja, Kadavika Srednja, Kardasine, Senjik, Sipi Rovine, Dazdarevo, Dragaljevac Donji, Draguljevac Gornji, Draguljevac Srenji, Vorovi, Glavicis, Glavakarak, Glogavac, Gojsovac, Golobiardio, Hayes Janja, Joovac, Kachovac, Koichinovac, Kavan Lukrivabara, Yeljenko, Yeskovac, Magnavic Donji, Magnavic Gornji, Magnavic Srenji, Medici, Modern, Novo Nasilja, Novo Selo, Obrijes, Ostoishevo, Patkavaka, Pipachi, Popovi, Digelovi, Pusil, Ruhotina, Suhopolja, Trijesnica, Tranjaki, Velika Obarska, Valino Selo, Vrsani, Zagoni. Tourism. Bijeljina holds an international folklore festival known as Semberija Folkfest. The Vorovi Spa is one of the most famous spas in the Republika Srpska. The Vorovi Spa was formed after the discovery of thermal water drilling for oil exploration 1957 in Semberija. The depth of the source is at 1,435 meters. The water is a ligamineral, and the thermal temperature is 75 degrees south. Demographics. At the 1991 census, Bijeljina municipality had 96,796 inhabitants, including 57,541 Serbs, 30,314 Bosniaks, 517 Croats, 4,168 others. The town itself had 39,414 residents. 19.024 Bosniaks, 10.450 Serbs, 3.452 Yugoslavists, 3.488 others. At the 2013 census, Bijeljina municipality had 114,663 inhabitants. Sports. Bijeljina has one major stadium known as Bijeljina Gradski Stadion. The stadium is home to FK Radnik Bijeljina, which competes in the Premier League of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Basketball clubs include KK Budućnost Bijeljina, KK Radnik Bijeljina, KK Phoenix Basket Bijeljina. Volleyball clubs include OK Radnik Bijeljina, OK Libero Bijeljina. Handball clubs include RK Bijeljina, ZRK Bijeljina. International relations. Twin towns. Sister cities. Bijeljina is twinned with Kraševac, Serbia; Ruse, Bulgaria; Kumanovo, Macedonia; Langenhagen, Germany. Notable people: Admir Smajic, footballer; Ana Mirjana Rakanovic, former Miss Bosnia and Herzegovina; Bego Katic, retired footballer; Svijetan Mijadovic, chairman of the collective presidency of Yugoslavia, Yugoslav people's hero; Elez Dervisevic, soldier of the Austro-Hungarian army and one of the youngest soldiers in the First World War; Filip Visnic, epic poet; Frenki, rapper; Mirza Bagic, basketball player; Faruk Bulu, basic songwriter; Nevenka Tadic, neuropsychiatrist and mother of former President of Serbia Boris Tadic; Nihad Hustanbegovic, composer, accordionist and pianist; Rodoljub Kolakovic, politician and writer; Ijana Rikic, philanthropist; Srdan Valetic, filmmaker; Savo Milosevic, footballer; Dragan Micic, retired footballer; Sead Mahik, footballer; Slobodan Pajic, sculptor and painter; Enad Tahirovic, handball goalkeeper; Otto Hatscheki, Hungarian fencer; Luka Jovic, Serbian footballer.